All right. Where are we at here? There it is. Okay. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Back. Cut the first live short. Chris McDonough was going live, had a great show scheduled, and I wanted to catch that. And so I wanted to kind of discuss this a little bit more because, there's not only is it obviously tragic, but I think it's somewhat of a learning lesson for us. Yeah, I think about all this. I think about all the speculation that went on in this case, and which was, I believe, 2 weeks long, and what that did to the family and the friends, and it is a weird. It's just such a weird thing, I mean, what's going to happen, like I said before, is that people are going to question. They're going to question the police, why they didn't find her. They're going to talk about all kinds of stuff is going to be brought up. And which is a bummer, because it's not going to be necessarily about the tragic ending to this young girl's life, but it's more so going to be about the conspiracies that abound. This isn't 9/11. This isn't, it's unfortunately, it's real life, with real implications. And I just can't imagine a scenario where it is anything but, it just really does seem accidental. I'm sure that there's other things that could have happened, and the investigation will probably play out, in a very public way. But this is just a reservoir that she was in, not too far from the campground. But it's a really large reservoir. It's really big. And yeah, that's right. A lot of people don't, it's funny that you say that. A lot of people do not subscribe to Occam's razor. I, for one, have always, although I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't say that I just take everything at face value, because I definitely don't. I certainly don't take everything at face value, but I mean, if you really think about it logically, then this is probably the most logical explanation. I was keen to, I thought maybe there was an abduction and that she was in the car abducted, because like that, that stuff happens. I never bought the trafficking thing. But I did think that she could have, rolled her car or something off a cliff, or, there's a million possibilities. And driving into a body of water at night, intoxicated or not, and we don't know if she was intoxicated. I'm sure people will assume that, and that will be what's ran with. I don't even know if they would release a toxicology report for a 16-year-old. I don't know. I'd be okay if they didn't either way. But probably with how much how publicized this case was, I'm sure that they'll probably disclose it. But I don't know. I just don't think it's necessary personally. I don't think it's necessary, but I do think, I mean, she was 16 years old. She was 16 years old, and let's see here. Sammy and her parents should be held responsible for this girl's death for allowing her to leave the party intoxicated. No one was watching. Yeah, I mean, that's just not going to happen. I don't know if I don't know the details of it, but it happens all the time. It happens all the time, unfortunately. Yeah, as you can see that they are getting the car out of. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just hope they rule out foul play. I mean, that's another thing, that we could even really discuss is, the fact of the matter is that, like, she was found in the car, deceased, and I don't know if anybody takes any more comfort or not, knowing that there was no foul play. The end result is absolutely the same. And I don't know. I just don't. I'm sure that doesn't even really come into their mind where they go, oh, well, what one's better than the other. I mean, it's all bad. It's all tragic. It's just a horrible ending. But I mean, as you can see, it's not that far. I mean, you see a road coming in. Let me see here. You can see that, there's a road that you could drive right in there. You could drive right in there. Is it possible? Is it possible that there's foul play involved? Absolutely. It's possible, but I don't think it's likely. And wow. It's really crazy, right under their nose the whole time. But I mean, even you're looking at it now and you go, how could they not have? I mean, there's a lot of water to search. I don't know what the mileage, would be of that, the coast there, but I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of area to search. And like Adventures with Purpose, they're special. They specialize in this stuff, and I don't think law enforcement has much of a problem letting them do their thing. That, in Sherry's opinion, that's right. We don't know yet if foul play can be ruled out. Of course, I mean, nobody's suggesting that it should be ruled out. They will investigate, I'm sure, to the fullest. But I can see here how this just happens. I can see how it happens. And it is just an absolute tragic ending. If she was really drunk and it's nighttime, I could see her not realizing it was the boat ramp that she was on. But here's the thing too. I mean, driving at nighttime is a pain. Everybody knows that. Driving in the woods at nighttime is a pain. Add that with any level of tired or angry, crying, drunk, high, whatever. And I don't know if she was any of those things. I have my own personal thoughts, but I'll, everybody has those, so I'll just leave that to the investigation. But I can absolutely see how this would happen. What happened here? That's not what I meant at all. Did I say something? No, Kathleen, it absolutely is not. It is not good. Yeah, but you can. It looks like on the other side there, that's the boat ramp, but there's just roads that lead right up to the water all over the place. You know, the crazy part about it is that I don't, there's not going to be that much relief tonight. 11 miles of shoreline. I mean, that's a lot of shoreline to look for. That is a whole bunch of shoreline. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here as well. Although so heartbreaking, I'm sure parents are relieved. See, that's the thing. I don't know if, no, probably not. I don't know if you can be relieved right now. I mean, it's going to be shock. It's just going to be shock. And, then you're going to start going through the stages of grief. But yes, answers are on the way, and that's always important. So I understand exactly what you're saying, Queenie. I understand it completely. But there's no relief right now, I'm sure. I'm sure that there's no relief. Anyone who has the balls to put blame on their parents need to take those balls and stick them down your throat. Okay, well, I probably should have reread this one and choke on them. How freaking dare you, or even think that disgusting. I completely agree with your sentiments. Let's just put it that way. I do. Anybody that's blaming anybody at this current moment is crazy. No, it's not the choice of words. I understand completely. I understand completely. Yeah, Lisa says I can guarantee you that they are numb right now. Of course they are. Of course they are. It's shock. It's awe. It's shock and awe. I don't know about awe. It's shock for sure. And it's just downright sad. And like I said, that's why these searches happen. I get it. You would think, oh man, they should have found that on day 2, day 1. Not when you don't know what happened. That's the other thing too, is probably a big part of the problem here is that it happened at night during a party with a lot of people around, 400, 300 feet, yards away from the party. I'm sure most people, if anybody, didn't see what happened. I mean, I could just see that. I'm sure that there's constant traffic around there, probably. And so, like I said, I could see them not really knowing anything. please absolutely pray for this child's mom. Like I said, the only case that I've actually covered where the person has been found, and I covered this very, very lightly because I I didn't have a lot to contribute. I still really don't accept my thoughts and condolences um, to the family, and as a parent of teenagers, like I said last week, my son went hiking. I couldn't get a hold of him for a long time. I didn't expect him to be out of range for as long as he was, and it was horrible. It sucks, and like I said, times that by a million here. Times that by a million. And who is to, you know, people like to cast blame when it's not them in the hot seat. When I say hot seat, I say that with all due respect. It's not a hot seat. It's when it's not directly affecting them. There's going to be people calling for her parents to be trouble, or this girl Sammy or her parents or whatever. And I can't abide by that. Not until we exactly look. Accidents happen. Accidents absolutely happen. And once again, William M. I mean, if you're so sure, go talk to the police. Tell them exactly what happened. If you know, I don't know how you can say that with absolute certainty. I have no idea how you can say that with absolute certainty. Canadian Cookie says the car is not out of the water as it just moments ago. She was a baby. How do you know she didn't? Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't think you'd ever know that. Who knows? You're exactly right. You're exactly right. I understand what the most likely scenario is and what it looks like. But that doesn't mean that we know. It's the most horrifying thing you will ever go through. Our daughter disappeared from us when my husband was playing in a family band one night. We searched for 30 minutes with about 50 people. I mean, that's just terrifying. Josh, how do you know if she did, man? I didn't say she did or she didn't. I never said one way or the other. You were the one that said absolutely, positively sure that she did not drive in there. I said, how do you know that? You can't ask me that same question because I didn't say that, William. I don't know what you're talking about. How do you know if she did, man? I don't. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend that I do. William, how dare you? I'm just kidding. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Wait for the autopsy. There's no way a parent can process loss of their child regardless of how. We need to let them grieve. I agree with that 100%. Where's William at? Where's William the fortune teller? Where'd you go, William? Okay, here we go. Didn't you think and okay, here we go. Didn't think you would get so defensive on me, man? You don't know me and I don't know you. Get a life and lose some weight while you're at it. Thanks, William. Appreciate it. William's got a lot of friends on a Sunday night. That's funny, man. Not speculating, it's just sad. I would say it's more than a bit rude, but like I don't even care. William's just making stuff up. I mean, he's right. I could probably drop a couple pounds. That's for sure, no doubt. Who knows what William looks like? He's probably grown into his chair wherever he's at. Can't see his feet and he wears sandals all day. I mean, that's just my guess. I mean, yeah, kick him out. I don't care. It wasn't defensive. I was just like, dude, was it? What did I do? I thought that was nice. It was nice. Come on. Hey, there we go. See, Josh is perfect just the way he was made. I wasn't necessarily made this way, but I'm okay at the moment. It's not even speculation that I don't want. He wasn't speculating. William was not speculating. William was telling me and you for a fact that she did not do that. That's not speculation. That is in no way, shape, or form speculation. That is just thinking that you know more than you do. That's it. That's all it is. And yeah, no, William's fine. He's had a rough day. It's all right. I forgive you, William, and you're welcome back someday. I'm sure you got kicked out for good reason, but you can come back someday. It's all right. I hold nothing against you. I got a microphone, you got a keyboard. I get it. I sit up here in front of people and you sit behind your keyboard and insult people. It's fine. Billy the Willie. Sorry, Lisa. Still love you, Josh, but I'm partial to Otis. I am too, actually. I am too. Yeah, William. But honestly, I appreciate that you guys. This really is about Kiely, and I understand that people want to speculate, but that just wasn't speculation. That's the problem. It's not speculation. It's rude and it's irresponsible and yeah. Yeah, when people tell you to get a life, it's probably because they're unhappy with theirs, I guess. But right, there's time and a place. Tonight ain't it? But we can always talk about Otis. Okay, so here we go. Here's speculation, and good, speculation. Looks suspicious to Sparks, but Sparks is willing to wait. I understand that. I absolutely understand willing to wait, and that's appreciated. If I had a dog like Otis, I would never get anything done. I'd be kissing that face constantly. You wouldn't kiss that face constantly, I guarantee you. And I'll tell you why you wouldn't kiss that face constantly. Because um, he eats stuff that he's not supposed to eat all the time. And it's like terrible. Absolutely. I mean, it is a special skill that those men possess. Exactly. Ask. Yes, it does happen all the time. That's what I'm saying. The couple that went missing the day after that crashed their car that they found, they didn't get half not even half. They probably didn't get a tenth of the coverage. A tenth is, if they got a tenth of that coverage, that would have been impressive. But they got very little coverage. And what really bothers me about these kind of cases, and stick with me on it, is the attractiveness to the public. Out of control teens at a party, young girl goes missing. Where is she? That's a headline. That's something people stop and drop for. Couple coming back from Vegas nights or whatever, hadn't been seen. That's not much of and it's always bothered me why some of these cases get picked up and don't. And the more that I've thought about it and the more that I've researched it and talked to people about it, it's not. All I know is that if I was the parent of another kid that was missing, so I understand why this captivated people. It's got all the elements. It's got all the elements to quote unquote true crime. It's got everything. It's got, like I said, it's got quote all the everything, like the Gabby Petito thing. You got two young kids traveling the country, living their life, experiencing life, loving life, supposedly. And then, Lifetime has made billions of dollars off of telling those kinds of stories, and with no end in sight, because it doesn't matter. Look at Casey Anthony. The Casey, that thing was really even before. When I say that thing, that case was before social media was even like a big thing. And Stacy, the Scott Peterson case. A lot of people don't know that while the Scott Peterson case was going on, there was another young lady who was found around the same time in the same area. She was found. Her 5-year-old was missing, and he's never been found. She got, I think, about 7 or 8 columns written about her from what I read. And then there was like 10,000 for Lacey, which I always found interesting. Matt, I appreciate that. You're a little late though. Anything to do with children catches my attention. 16 is a child. I agree. It's a child, but it's also old enough for other teenagers to take interest, old enough for people like me who have children that age, and then even grandparents. Like I said, it is absolutely devastating. And we all go, well, that could have been my kid, or that was, there are people in this chat, that have had stuff like this happen. Love the lab. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that so much. In my honest opinion, if it weren't for AWP, I don't think they would have found Kiely. It could have been months. God bless them. Condolences to family and friends. I think that she would have been found. Just it was just taking some time. And the phone ping thing is interesting. I don't know that much about it. Yeah, watching Kylie's grandfather sit on that beach waiting for a car to be pulled out broke my heart. It is a sad day. Well, it's a replay. I'm not. Let's see here. Here, I'll pull up another one. Sorry. I think. See, this is. I don't know if this is live either. None of these are live. I don't think. Oh no, wait, this one. Nope, none that I see. None that I see. Wow, it's really just what a sight. What a sight to see. Yes, I mean that's something great. So great. Yeah, I don't know. This is from earlier, but this is when they start recovering the vehicle. When they start recovering the vehicle. That just terrible. Terrible tragedy. Yeah, I believe Adventures with Purpose goes on tomorrow at 9. I don't know if that's Pacific or Eastern. They're on the West Coast, so I'm assuming that it's 9 Pacific, noon Eastern. But I don't know. It's hard to say, but I would think that that's the case. Yeah, you can see right there. 11 miles of coastline. I mean, that's a lot of coastline to cover. It really, really is. It really is. I don't know what's happening here. Wow. I mean, I don't think that people. I think you people do, but I don't know about most people realize how often this really does happen, and how many people actually never get found just from these accidents. I mean, it's not. It happens a lot. It happens a whole lot. The res sphere is a float attached to the car. Okay, makes sense. $200 from the campground, 2 football fields. Not that far. Didn't take her long to get there. Yeah, that is what we're talking about. The sonar boat is 35,000. Some adventures with purpose equipment might just be more advanced. It is, I'm sure it is. I'm absolutely sure it is, and that they absolutely specialize in doing this kind of stuff. That's what they do. What I don't understand is why security was allegedly involved. How did they all miss this? But that's the thing. They This was only a 2 week. I say only. I mean, this search had been going on for 2 weeks. So have a good night. Thank you. I mean, I completely understand why that this wasn't found. I mean, like I said, it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. 11 miles of coastline. And by the way, at this time, they're considering all possibilities. But you can see the car under there submerged. Wow. I mean, this stuff goes on every single day. She was so young to even comprehend the damage drinking and driving really does. Yeah, if that's what it is. I'm assuming that's what it is, but I don't know. And you're not just going to walk up to the shore and go, "Oh yeah, she's not out here." That's not how it's going to go. Yeah, yeah. I remember watching their episode when they were talking about like they specialize in cold cases, not active ones, when the resources have ran out. And you know, that's terrible. It's very terrible. Right. And that's kind of what does it say? Cars that have been in the water very long are harder. Wait, that's true too. Cars that haven't been in the water very long are harder to see on sonar. Adventures with Purpose has learned this in their searches. Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Another great point right here by Lex. It is nearly impossible once the vehicle is submerged to open any doors, windows. Yes, the exactly. I agree with that. Yeah, they do great. They do great work. Wow, Placer County Sheriff's Office just tweeted they found a car and a body. The identity has not been confirmed, but we know. Yeah, they're not just going to assume that it's her. I mean, I understand that that may sound like you're like, what do you mean it's not her? You know, but in all honesty, I mean that's really how they have to do it. This very well could have been an accident, or the car could have been pushed in. We will know when toxicology and autopsy been completed. Yeah, I thought about that as well. Um, that I mean that is something that could have happened, pushed in, but it's well, okay. So this is actually how it works. So I mean, they really have to take her or the body to the morgue, and the family really is going to have to confirm that along with other kinds of confirmation. Um, but you know, they really are going to have that's the steps that they're going to have to go through. They're going to have to take the body to the morgue, have the parents identify the body, um, and then you know, then they'll say it was kind of the same thing when I believe Gabby was found or Brian. I speculated, but hope wrong. Right. Exactly. I think she was driving probably at normal speed, if not faster, into the water. Yeah, probably. Yeah, if she has a tattoo, they'll use tattoos. Um, whatever they can to help identify her. Yeah, the family has horrible days ahead. That's for sure. There's no question about that. Dina says if the police said off the bat it was her without 100%, they would be in big trouble. So they have to make sure first. That's correct. They just have protocols. Correct. Yeah, I mean the fallout from these kind of tragedies is vast. Um, you know, I know that people say, well, somebody should have taken her keys, and I don't disagree with that. Uh, that is a much more aged, mature situation. Because the reason people start taking people's keys is because stuff like this happens and they've seen it happen and they don't want it to happen again. 16-year-old kids aren't too, maybe somewhat, but it's not like you've seen this happen 3 or 4 times. I'm sure that all of us know people that have been in accidents and have died. And so it's something that is learned. The dog's job says lab. I'm not too sure the parents will be asked to view, confirm the body. Victim underwater for 2 weeks. I mean, pretty bad shape. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Correct. Yeah, they're children. We live and we learn. You know, Kylie knew she would be I know Kay knew she'd be drinking before she got to the party. She basically planned on drinking and driving from the gate. Sorry to say and sad to think of. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not. It's completely possible. No, it was not her parents' fault. Was not her parents' fault. But I know a lot of you, like I did, had a standing. I mean, I had a standing. I wouldn't say it was a situation. It was just an understanding that if we were ever out and that happened, there's not. I mean, there's not a lot of common sense. No, it's not. To think it is just asinine. It's completely out of control. It's just completely out of control. Very sad. Thank you for being on. Help us understand all this, Josh. Josh, you're such a blessing to YouTube, to victims, survivors, their families. RIP, sweet angels, Josh. You rock, hugs. Thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's kind of a lot to process, especially when you people have been so invested in this situation, um it makes sense. Like I said, it hits home for a lot of people. It really does. Between brothers, sisters, children, grandparents, um but yeah, I mean, like I said, it absolutely hits close to home. And if this turns out to be an accident, it the ending is still tragic. And if it's not an accident, then somebody needs to pay. But we don't know. Oh, we know much more than we did yesterday. We know much more than we did yesterday. Yeah, Mimi says I just can't assume anything with I believe so little facts. Yeah, I agree. Parents can't protect their children all the time, but they cannot pray for them to go raging parties at 16 after being homeschooled, not knowing anyone. Yeah, man, what a job! What a job that is. In my opinion, I am suspicious the car wasn't planted. What do you mean planted? Like somebody pushed it in? Once again, I mean that's it's possible, but it's not like it's not likely. Yeah, I agree. I agree. None of us know what happened or how Kiely got in the water. Let's wait for all the facts from the investigation. That's the thing. We can wait for all the facts and we can wait for everything. And there's still going to be people out there that will never accept what it is. And I really do hope that a lot of the, what we've seen on YouTube, just in general, in the last 2-3 months, I really hope that, we all kind of learn something. I don't know if we will, but I can be hopeful. I can be hopeful. I'm completely covered up by that huge comment. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if they will or not, because think about it. I don't know. I don't know how they would investigate something like this. And a car's been. I mean, how much DNA or how much this or that? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know exactly what they're going to be looking for. Um, I don't know. I don't know what they'll be looking for. Josh, have you heard a lot of these kids aren't talking because they've lawyered up? I've heard that. I don't know how many or the validity of that. Um, I don't know. I don't know, but I think that probably the I think that probably what will end up being the case is that they don't really. I don't know. I just don't think that they're gonna. A lot of kids probably didn't see what happened, man. There's probably a lot of cars in and out. It's dark. It's the woods. It's the middle of the night. Crap happens. Terrible things happen. I mean, it kind of looks like a car. Like you're looking at it right here. It kind of looks like a car. But is it? Yeah, please, if you could give a thumbs up, it really helps the channel, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Spot just doesn't look like somewhere a drunk person just drove off the road. Well, we don't know if she was drunk, but I get what you're saying. My heart hurts for her mom. I've received a visit from law enforcement with devastating news regardless of the details. Her daughter isn't coming home. Correct. And thank you for that comment, Ampy. Dear parents, hug your children and tell them how much you love them. I think that we sometimes forget that. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I don't care if you have you can have your opinion, but to go after the parents, I don't think that we actually need that. Yeah, it's crazy how someone were to push her car in there, the gear shift might be in neutral. Just thinking, our hands. Yeah, I mean, there's things that they're gonna definitely check out. This is absolutely heart wrenching. Yeah, it's doesn't the car wasn't very far from the shoreline. Wow, absolutely devastating. I have tears. I'm grateful for this channel. Thank you. Thank you. Just the outpouring for Uprising. Yeah, Uprising. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. Boo Bear says apparently muddy water too. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Tiny Dancer says it's not the end yet. Lots of investigating. Something's off. Could or could not. I don't know. I mean, I understand that. I think that because of all the rhetoric and speculation that's gone on for the last 2 weeks about this case, I think that one of the major reasons is because, and now that they're like, well, they just found her right off the shore, like something's up, and I don't necessarily think that that's true because these things get missed all the time. Kaylee Anthony was found like a quarter of a mile from her house, basically like 30 feet back. They looked for that kid, for that little baby, for 9 months. And the whole time, EquiSearch was out there. The whole time, they all missed her. They searched the area several times that she was missing in. And I don't, yeah, just because kids are homeschooled doesn't mean they have friends. A lot of these homeschools, by the way, you have to report to school once or twice a week to either turn your stuff in, meet with your counselor, or whatever. Thank you, Quinny. I appreciate that. I asked my 33 I asked my 33-year-old son, what would you do? What would you and your friends do if you saw a car leave the road, stop and help? Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning towards accident most of the way. Yes, there's no indication that anything suspicious happened. Um, from my point of view, it looks pretty straightforward what happened. Kaylee, yes, the meter man reported something strange. Something strange for several months, I think. Finally got a cup. Now, I think what happened was the meter maid went to go pee, and he saw like he thought was like animal bones. And Julie Porter makes an absolutely great comment here. Don't have to be drunk to have an accident. No doubt about that. No doubt about it. 16 is the bare minimum that you can get your driver's license. She probably hadn't been driving very long. I don't know. Well, she obviously couldn't legally drive very long. I would say less than a year. Probably, with maybe a couple with her permit. But, in most other countries, not the United States, the driving age limit is like 18. In Idaho, you can drive it. They can drive at 15. There you go. See, I homeschooled and we had testing done regular, just like public schools. I had them tested by a retired teacher. Pay for the test. I, like I said, she hasn't been driving very long. There it is, right there. She hadn't been driving very long, and on top of that, I don't know how familiar she was with this campground. Like you said, that you do not have to be drunk. There has not been a press conference yet. Yeah, that's true too. Josh, children drive farm vehicles and they are under the age of 15. Yeah, I agree. Night, Melissa. Thank you for being here. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are really great. That's a fact. Right. You can drive with a learner's permit, but she was able to drive by herself. Jeez. You could get your permit in Kansas at 14. I mean, that seems odd to me. And don't forget, tomorrow we do have a members only live stream at 3:00. So I'll be excited to see you guys there for that. Should be an interesting, fun time. I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm going to announce some things that members will be able to do, have some early access to stuff, some exclusive content. But yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. East Coast. Nerdy Girl T says, is this at this point her being intoxicated is all speculation? Yeah, she definitely could have been sober. I'm sure it was really dark, possibly unfamiliar. Maybe she couldn't see well at night. Yeah, I agree with that as well. And Coffee Time says, just a sad case, the great loss of a bright soul. Yeah, terrible. That's right. 12 p.m. Hawaiian Standard Time. That's true. Teresa, I've always thought, and I got my driver's license when I was 16. I got my permit at 15. And 2 weeks after I got my driver's license, I ran somebody over that was crossing the street the wrong way. And what was happening was I was turning left and they were coming straight across, no crosswalk, but I'm looking right and I can't see anything. So I'm pulling out slowly. I kind of let my foot off the gas. And yeah, so then I was probably going, I don't know, 8, 9 miles an hour when I hit her. It was nuts. It was like it was the worst ever. Like I ran them over. Well, they didn't. I hit them. They actually went over my car. She was totally fine. That was the craziest part about it, that she was fine afterwards. And her husband was right there. And the only person that wasn't fine was me. Let's see here. That was the only person that struggled, I think. I mean, I couldn't tell you. It was terrifying. I'm so glad that she was okay. But it was, huh, I'll never forget that day. Poor lady. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. And luckily, like I said, but even going 8 or 9 miles an hour, just saying, it's not like driving around town. Yeah, I freaked out. Yeah. Night, Patty. Have a good night. Thank you. Yeah, it sucked, but I wasn't the one that got hit by the car either. It was unfortunate. It was her, not me. So she was the victim in that situation. Which was terrible. Like I said, it's just absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. We got here. South Tahoe is my favorite place in the world, but bears do scare me. Yep. Bears are, and it's thick out there. Oh, I was going to tell you, please, if you don't mind, could you give Otis a hug? He's such a little guy, depending on Josh. Yeah, he depends on me for everything. And it's funny too, because when he wants something, he makes extreme eye contact and then like boom, boom, and he watches every single thing that I do. Um, but so check this out. In like 2 weeks, I'm gonna have to get a little timer up here on the screen, but in 2 weeks, he's gonna be one. I'm throwing him a birthday party. I agree. It's too young. It's too young. But yeah, we're gonna throw him a birthday party. Um, and yeah, I was in awe of him too. He does the weirdest stuff, like the absolute weirdest stuff. He's wearing a tuxedo for his birthday, so he needs to get ready. He needs to get ready. Yeah, we can do something for Otis. I don't see why not. I mean, I think you just, I don't know. You go to their page. I don't have a link. If somebody does, that's totally fine. Oh yeah, and don't. I was going to tell you too. I was going to tell you too. Otis has his own TikTok, so if you want to follow that, you can put the link up. Let me send it here. That's right. Otis has his own TikTok. I feel like he needs to be documented more often. Yeah, sure. Everybody's welcome. Yeah, he's gonna wear a tuxedo, and I'm gonna have a little birthday cake made for him. So I'll post pictures. I'll show you some video. But yeah, he's gonna have a tuxedo with a little chain, some sunglasses, hopefully. And you know, it's actually funny. His mom and dad will be at the party, so that's gonna be fantastic too. I don't have a TikTok, but Otis does. He certainly does. He certainly does. Yeah. See now that now my numbers are dropping. All right. Well, I'm glad that we got to kind of finish this up, and I appreciate everybody being here and having a respectful conversation. It's fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you tomorrow, members, 3 p.m.